A movie that just hit theaters around 2 weeks ago in theaters. The film is written, directed, and composed by James Samuel. This is his second film and first film in theaters following his hit Netflix film, The Harder They Fall, which I really love. This time he continues to add to a stacked cast as this movie stars Lakeith Stanfield as Clarence, someone who is finding misfortune in his life in 33 AD and does not believe in either Jesus or God. So in order to find himself a career and a path, he tries to find himself to become a Messiah by lying in order to redo a payment. The movie, as I said, has a star cast. You have Omar Sy in the movie as well, Anna Diop, R.J. Seiler, David Oyelowo, Michael Ward, Alfre Woodard, Tiana Taylor, Caleb McLaughlin. You also have James McAvoy and Benedict Cumberbatch. The film is 2 hours and 9 minutes long and is PG-13. Welcome back to a brand new movie review here on Max Talks Movies. I'm talking The Book of Clarence. Let me know your thoughts on this movie in the comment section down below. First of all, did you even hear this was in theaters? Did you like The Harder They Fall? Did you wait for this to go onto a streaming service or digital? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video as well, guys, the thumbs up button. Also, please subscribe, ring the bell. We're so close to 200 subscribers. Let's get there as soon as possible. So subscribe, ring the bell, because I talk movies, TV shows, box office, and I do rankings. Also, I just started doing out of theater reactions. So I'll do all those things. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. So let's get into my thoughts. Overall, as I just said before, I loved The Harder They Fall on Netflix from a couple of years ago. All-star cast, the music, the energy, had a Western. It was a really great surprise a couple of years ago, and I was very interested to see what Samuel does next. And I loved all the trailers for this movie. I love the actors. James McAvoy is one of my favorite actors living. I love Lakeith Stanfield, my favorite part of Atlanta, and I've been really supporting him, watching all his really movies since Atlanta came out. So, and there's a lot of good actors in it. So overall, let's get into my thoughts on The Book of Clarence. And generally, I had a good time watching The Book of Clarence. It is a very fresh and another fresh and original take on something you may have seen before, which obviously the story of a Messiah or the story of Jesus. This way, it's told in a very different, obviously fictional way, but brought with a lot of energy, comedy, and today's type of dialogue. And I truly did enjoy myself for the majority of the movie. And that does start with Lakeith Stanfield, who is struggling at the moment to get any box office as a leading actor. Haunted Mansion didn't do great. This movie did not do great at the box office, or is still not doing great at the box office. But he continues to prove he can carry a movie from a movie perspective. I'm not saying from a business perspective, but in the movie, he is fantastic. And yet there's a lot of amazing actors that are in this film, but he is the one carrying this movie. And the movie is not good without a great leading performance. Stanfield brings the seriousness, the sarcasm, the quips, the comedy, and the drama into the movie. It's a very complex performance that goes through a lot of different waves throughout the entire film, and Stanfield delivers. There are times where you believe that he is serious, believe when he's not serious, but he is the lead of this movie, and Stanfield delivers in the leading role. I'll get to my other favorite side performances, but honestly, maybe the best part of the movie is James Samuel himself as a director and as a composer. He composes the music. Obviously, he's once again being produced by Jay-Z in this movie as well. And I'm not mistaken, Jay-Z, if I heard right, does have a song in this movie as well that you hear in the film. But the movie isn't as watchable unless it has this energy and confidence from the director's chair and from the composer, of course, Samuel himself, but from the director's chair. This movie is directed with tons of confidence. It's completely well made. Gorgeous film, but it does have that energy, especially in the first 2 acts of the movie. And that's carried through by the way Samuel shoots the movie, but also how the movie is scored. The music is awesome. And again, it's not a musical at all, but Samuel has a lot of songs in the movie and score itself that is just great. And the music is fantastic. And the direction from Samuel is fantastic. He is a guy that, again, in Hollywood, I cannot wait for each of his projects. Well, I don't think this reaches the heights of The Harder They Fall. I still enjoyed this film. From a side character perspective, Omar Sy, I think, is the biggest standout other than Lakeith Stanfield in the cast. He plays a character called Barabbas who becomes Clarence's kind of head security guard, and he calls himself Immortal for a reason. And I've seen Omar Sy in a lot of things, including like Jurassic World, for example, and he always stands out in the movies that he's in, and sadly doesn't get booked enough, in my opinion, in other things. But Omar Sy is great, and I think he has the best chemistry with Stanfield out of the entire cast. He also brings back R.J. Cyler from that movie, from Samuel's first film, and Cyler's very good. He also has a very good key relationship with Stanfield. Some of the other performances I think stand out to me. The other one is Benedict Cumberbatch. He has a small role in the movie as the character of Benjamin, but it is one of the more memorable scenes I've seen in a movie in a while where it's the best scene of the entire movie, and it is enjoyable to watch. It is a Cumberbatch owns every single second that he is on screen. He's not in the movie a lot, but when he is on screen, he is on. And Cumberbatch is fantastic in this very minor role that got a lot of laughs and seriousness in the movie. So I really did enjoy Cumberbatch in this film. From a negative perspective with the movie, it's too long. It does drag substantially in the third act. I think the first two acts are a breeze. And then once you get to kind of the culmination of the movie, it just drags. And the movie is it really is 2 hours and 10 minutes. And it's just too long of a movie. It needs to be around an hour 45, an hour 50. You could have cut easily 20 minutes out of the movie, or maybe, the editing could have helped a lot. Because the first two acts are paced and edited so well. And then the third act just doesn't feel like it ends. And I think tonally to the third act is a bit of a mess. It's trying to finish off a lot of subplots in the movie, because there are a lot of characters, and the movie needs to run time because that's my point, which is there's too many characters and there's too many subplots that the movie needs time to finish in order to make it a complete movie. So I think you could have cut some of the characters out of the movie, and that would have led to the tonally consistent film. But overall, I enjoyed The Harder They Fall. It's not a great movie, and I don't think it's nearly, and definitely not as good as his last film, The Harder They Fall, for James Samuel, but still a movie that I enjoyed with the performances, his direction, the writing. But as I said, it's a bit too long, and there are too many characters and too many subplots that the movie needs to finish up on, which makes this a bit of a long and dragging third act. So overall, I'm going to give The Book of Clarence a 3.5 out of 5. I'm going to go 68% for The Book of Clarence. What are your thoughts on this movie? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys soon.